Welcome back to Broken Electronics. I'm Lee, and it's a pleasure to welcome you back here today. As of this recording, this is Sunday night that I'm recording this. Yesterday afternoon, OpenCore Legacy Patcher 0.4.1 dropped, which is a pretty significant release. So, of course, I'm going to cover that and some other things in advance. Now, hopefully I get this video done in time for the Tuesday release. That's not a guarantee because, as with all of my videos, there's a lot of waiting around for things to happen that have to happen. In this case, downloads and installations and all kinds of things. But I'm going to do my best for those of you who may have seen it. Mr. Macintosh, of course, has already done his video on the subject, and I commend that to your attention. All right, so why don't we get right into it then? Stay tuned. Where we're going to start out with this, and to get to this page, all you need to do is search OpenCore Legacy Patcher, and one of your early results should be releases. This is the releases page, 0.4.1. The main focus of 0.4.1 is an improved GUI, or GUI, version of the application. Now, in watching the Mr. Macintosh video, he makes a good point that one might as well, if you're going to download this, download the offline app. Apple keeps breaking things. We know this. So if they do break something like your Wi-Fi, if in fact you have the original Wi-Fi on 5.1, it's already broken. They may break the updated Wi-Fi. Who knows what's going to happen? So if you download the offline, all of the patches that you need are going to be downloaded. And you're talking about 548 megabytes. I have already downloaded that. So we can quit out of Safari and open it up. And I have to verify that I want it to open. Unlike most Mac apps, it disappears out of the dock. Usually when an app is open, it'll show up in the dock. But if we wait patiently here, it should come up. Waiting patiently, and here we are. Okay. So, we have several options here: build and install OpenCore, post-install root patch, create macOS installer, settings, and a help menu. So we're going to start out with build and install OpenCore. Build OpenCore. It's done. Install OpenCore. And beach balling. Well, it's a new release after all. Okay. Now, this is always a problem, figuring out what drive is what, but we have here the 1 terabyte Time Attack drive. And authenticate. Don't know why it won't allow my Apple Watch to do that, but I guess this is considered to be important, and honestly it is. Okay, OpenCore transfer complete. Now, what I'm going to do next is simply try to reboot the machine and see if this installation has fixed the problem. Now, I should go back and cover the problem. I have 3 5,1 Mac Pros plus a 4,1 that has been flashed to a 5,1. In effect, 4 5,1 Mac Pros. 2 of them, one running Monterey and one running Big Sur, boot flawlessly. 2, including this one, have problems. So we're going to start out by rebooting this into Big Sur using 0.4.1 and see if magically it's gotten fixed. I doubt it sincerely, but we can hope. In order to find out, stay tuned. All right, we can hope that this is just going to fix it. I doubt it sincerely. Restart. Most of this update of OpenCore Legacy Patcher has been devoted to the GUI. I doubt that they've done that much that are going to solve this problem. Okay, I'm going to save us a little time here because we could wait here for a fair amount of time. Stay tuned. All right, being impatient, I forced it off. And restarted it. And you're seeing now a lot of what I go through. This is where it stalls. If net attach, all kernel threads created for interface LOD have been scheduled at least once proceeding, but it doesn't proceed. All right. And we force it off. And start it again. Obviously, Plan B is going to have to come into effect here. Right, see our boot drive. Same thing. Okay, so I'm just gonna get this thing to finally boot up and then time for Plan B. Stay tuned. All right, on the 5th try, we've booted up. I can mess something up there, but that doesn't matter. Okay, now I have alluded a couple of times now to Plan B. And what is Plan B? Of the 4 5,1s, including the flash 4,1, 2 boot up flawlessly and 2 have trouble, including this one and the one in the Banjo Cave, my music creation workhorse. Those 2 working Mac Pros have one thing in common. They've both been up and running here since 2019, since Mojave was the big thing. Since that time, I don't think they've had a clean install of an OS. There's been a lot of cloning going on and installs that have just been installed over the top. So what I'm going to try now is to install clean. I have another NVMe SSD, I plan then to take the current boot drive out, put that NVMe SSD in, install onto that, and see if the clean install works the way it should. If it does, all well and good. I can then try plugging in the existing boot drive and using Migration Assistant to transfer over all the data. At least that's the plan. So, what we're going to do here, open the OpenCore Legacy Patcher, which takes a while with this version. It's a big jump ahead, but it does still need a little work. Okay. Well, let's build and install OpenCore. That goes very quickly. Now, create macOS installer. We will download the installer. This, of course, takes a while, so I will spare you the wait. Stay tuned. All right. We have downloaded our installer. Now we're about to build the USB installer. However, note, the only option we're given is install macOS Big Sur 11.6.1, whereas we specifically downloaded 11.6.2. I'm not sure what that glitch is, but worst case scenario, if we install 11.6.1 and it works, we can just upgrade to 11.6.2. All right. Okay. We're going to our USB flash drive. Have to authenticate. Shoot. Okay. Now this takes a long time. So stay tuned. Okay, basically, what's happening here is the GUI replicates and automates the install disk creator command in terminal. So what it's telling us up here is successfully created a macOS installer. You can now install OpenCore onto this drive. So we quit. Return to main menu. Build and install OpenCore. I guess we have to build OpenCore again, but that takes like no time. Now install OpenCore. Watch the computer beach ball. Okay. So, 31.5 gigabytes, that's got to be our flash drive. And onto the EFI. And my Apple Watch just okay, EFI opened up and then closed. So, we're ready to go. Now, I have obtained a Silicon Power 1 terabyte SSD. What I will need to do is to take out the PCIe NVMe, replace the two. So we'll have a clean install. Now hopefully we can then do a clean install onto that new NVMe SSD and then put in the old one and do a transfer of data. Well, we shall see if that happens. Stay tuned. Well, okay, I've got the new NVMe SSD, which I have pre-formatted, by the way, and put that into the PCIe card. I have put the installer drive in. Let's boot it up and see what happens. The light's blinking on the main monitor. Okay, light just came on the installer drive. So we have something happening here. This looks like we may be going to the regular Apple bootloader. Flashing going on the installer SSD. Installer flash drive, I should say. Now it's just sitting there. And thus far, nothing's happening. Okay, here we go. Here we go. This should install Big Sur. Unfortunately, nothing is reacting. Neither the keyboard or the mouse are reacting. Huh. Let's see. What do I have? An additional USB port available. Way back here I do. I can't get it plugged in. Okay, I should say, it did actually start, once I restarted it and plugged in the USB keyboard, we got into recovery and then install macOS Big Sur, and that appears to be going. So hopefully we're on the right track. Stay tuned. Okay, we just had several minutes of the normal installer screen on the secondary monitor. Now both monitors have gone black. The installer SSD is blinking away like crazy. I'm seeing some blinking on the primary monitor, but so far no output. Which is worrisome. But something is clearly happening. Okay, we're back here. I guess that may just have been a blackout. What, 12 minutes remaining. Okay, stay tuned. We now are going to verbose output. Please don't stick here. Okay. There we go. All right, both monitors are black right now. But the install SSD, okay. Okay, so we're back into the installer. And this looks to be flying along so far. This looks like we're getting very good results. Yeah. Okay. All right, we went into a verbose mode output in the main monitor. This is a secondary monitor now. I guess I did not engage the recording, but everything went very, very smoothly, and we're now here about 29 minutes remaining. So far, this looks to be proceeding well. Stay tuned. Everything's proceeding quite well. Thus far, there have been no forced restarts. This is good. We're just hit 19 minutes remaining. It just clicked over. I've got to say, though, when you're watching minutes go by and just sitting here watching them go by, Lord, it does get tedious. Aren't you glad you don't have to? Stay tuned. Okay, our regular install secondary monitor display ended a while ago, and we flipped back into the verbose mode. And right now, we're getting the ramrod display, which always goes very slowly. So we're into the patching mode right now. Thus far, there has been no need to force the machine off and reboot it. So everything is going as well as I could have hoped. Stay tuned. Okay, we're just at a point where the verbose mode display has stopped. I'm expecting one or the other of the two displays will start to showing something here. I see blinking now on the main display. It appears to be coming on. Okay. The two options, by the way, in the bootloader there were the installer and the SPSSD onto which it's being installed. So we're now booting into the internal SSD and rolling right along. indeed rolling so fast I can't see what's happening. All right. And we indicated that we are booting to the internal SSD onto which we're installing. So far, this is everything I could have hoped for it to be. Continuing to move. And here we are. All right, now to catch you up, things got disjointed. It got very, very late. I finally just went to bed. But the last clip you saw that we had booted into the setup screen. I went through, I ended up restoring my data from a Time Machine backup, which of course took forever. I slept through that. But here's the result. We're booted into the new SP SSD. I have installed OpenCore on the EFI partition of that. We'll have a look at about this Mac, and we can see that it did in fact install 11.6.2, which is good. I didn't want to have to go through that update. So things are looking really good so far, but we have to do one more thing. We need to restart. And this machine gets flaky about restarting, so but hopefully we'll get a clean restart. Stay tuned. Oh, no, there we went. So I guess we'll hold it here. Main monitor is blinking there. I have of course taken out the installer USB. Come on. Yep. All right. If we get a clean start here, I'm going to declare victory. And this is looking really good right now. Son of a gun. Look, man, that was fast. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, Lordy. Okay, so our primary goal has been met. What we needed to do was a clean install and then migrate the data over. And this machine is booting like it was natively supported. Oh, Lordy. Okay. Well, be good to other people. They need it and deserve it. Be good to yourselves. Everything we do has to start from that. We can make the world a better place. It isn't yet, so please take very, very good and careful care in these still difficult times. Okay. There'll probably be some follow-ups here, but it's looking like OpenCore Legacy Patcher has solved the issues, and our beloved 5.1 Mac Pros still live. Isn't that great? So there'll be some follow-ups on that. A lot of PowerPC material still to come, and just all sorts of things. So until those things are available on the channel, this has been Broken Electronics.